What's up, everybody? My name is Tim Ruswick, and today I want to talk about iteration. Something we've covered a lot on the channel, iterating on things, making things better over time rather than just starting with a big old pile of stuff to do. If you start with something small, you can make something better over time. But the iteration we're talking about now is multi-project iteration. It is the type of iteration where you can learn and perfect a process over many years and games even. A lot of people think of the concept of iteration as something you do once you build a prototype, right? In a project, in a singular project. You take a project and maybe you add some cool features to it, add some cool enemies to it, add some level design to it, iterate, start with the core, and then make it bigger gradually as you kind of build it up. And that's great. That's fantastic. I think that's a great way to build games. It's a great way to build software in general. But some people take it a little step further. Some people go and use the iteration process on things like sequels, which are multi-game type of, endeavors. If you take game number one with 3 features and the run and jump combat that you love, game number 2 can have the run and jump combat and 10 features or additional levels or additional whatever. You can kind of perfect the formula over time. But just like with anything, you learn stuff. Every time you do something, next time you do it, it'll be better, faster, or you'll learn something along the way. And especially the longer, more complex projects you learn, the more this happens. Like you take something like a game, which can take, anywhere from a couple days to a couple years. When you're working on a project that long, you're bound to learn a bunch of stuff. So when it comes to something like launch day, iterative launch can work for you. It can help you learn stuff over and over again. What do I mean by iterative launch? Well, so a lot of people think of launch day as like the end all be all, the point where you're working on your game, you're working on whatever it is you're working on, and then there's a day where it comes out, and then everything past then is just, whatever. It's about the launch day, and then you work on a new project and you go for launch day. But here's the thing: if you think about your life or your business, depending on how you're looking at game dev, as this series of projects, right? Like you're going to make game 1, game 2, game 3. It's hard to look past your current game. It's hard to look past your current project. I know I'm neck deep in a project now. It's hard for me to look past it. But if you look past it and I say, okay, Philophobia is going to come out in February. Realistically, I'm probably going to have another project after that. Realistically, I'm probably going to have another project after that. Well, guess what? Each one of those launches, each one of those projects is going to teach me something. And so my process for launching games is going to grow over time. It's going to iterate on itself. I'm going to make sure that everything that I do right for the Philophobia launch, I'm going to do right again. Everything I do wrong for the Philophobia launch, I'm going to try and change next time I launch a game. And a lot of people think that, like, hey, this is something you got to do once and you got to get it right. And yeah, sometimes it sucks to do it wrong, right? But everybody does something wrong at some point in time. Chances are, if it's your first launch, probably going to fuck it up. Just like if it's your first game, you probably fucked it up already, right? Like, it's just sometimes the first time you do something, there's a learning curve and it takes time to learn all this stuff. So anything you do for the first time, whether it's driving a car or making a 3D model or whatever it is, it's not the best it can be the first time you do it. And launching a game, even though it's a massive process that can take years, it can still be an iterative process. That's one of the reasons why I think people should start with smaller games. I have made 22 games while I've been working on my 4-year project. I don't recommend anybody work on especially a solo project, as long as I've worked on Philophobia. I feel like it's way too long, and it's a big mistake that I've made. Because the iteration cycle is longer rather than shorter, right? If you can work on a game jam game and you can finish it in a weekend, and then you can spend a couple days iterating and adding more content, and a couple days iterating and adding more content and pushing it out to testers each time, that's really cool. It's really interesting. It's a short iteration cycle. The longer the iteration cycle, the bigger the problems are. The more you have to remember all the stuff, or maybe this stuff's not even relevant anymore, right? Like, depending on how long it is that you're working on design. So the main thing that I just kind of want to share today is that everything can be iterative if you're willing to learn. Not just game design, not just game development, not just prototypes, not just that kind of stuff, but marketing, launch period, all the stuff that you learn over time, you start to compound it and learn it over time. So don't be afraid of your first launch. Don't be afraid of things going south, because next time you can do it even better. And I know that's sucks to say, like, for those of you thinking, well, yeah, I had a launch and my launch sucked and I lost 2 years of my life and I lost my house and a bunch of other shit. I know I'm saying that it fucking happens, okay? And there's no solace to that, which is why you should minimize your risk in the first place. But not all of us do that in a passion-driven industry. I know what it's like to have passion for game development and to let that cloud my judgment for your project. I know, but still, the point is that the next time you do it, it'll get better. And the next time you do it after that, it'll get even better. And if you keep doing it, you stick to it, and you're consistent at it, you'll get there. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you found it useful. If you did, leave me a thumbs up and a comment down below. For those of you watching this on the day that it launches, Friday, on the first Friday of every month, we do a Feedback Friday, and that happens to be today. So make sure you hit up the stream tonight at 5 p.m. EST for Feedback Friday, where I play indie games from you lovely people, and I give you feedback live on stream. But I'll see you then. My name is Tim Roswick. I'll see you either on stream or next week. See you later.